Go. Hi guys, John with Berkeley Heights Community Watch. This is in the field operation today. We're here with some of the neighbors on Plainfield Ave, and we saw the yellow signs out in the front of the houses saying that there's a meeting on March 23rd, and we wanted to ask some questions and find out what that was about. So give us some background.
Okay.
Well, you start, Jerry. Go ahead.
Yes, I'll talk. What they're planning on doing is to the left of this garage, the yellow garage you see here, and the house you see in the background there, they're going to bring in the street.
And that street's going to be right below Mountain off of Plainfield coming up.
Right. And we feel it's not going to be a safe intersection.
So Jerry, make sure
it's going to come along here.
You point out what's up. We got. Now, who's going to do this?
The contractor that's going for the subdivision.
Which property is it?
This is going to be a subdivision of the church.
The Westminster
Westminster
Okay,
Church at the corner of Plainfield and Mountain Avenue.
Okay, the church is staying there, right?
The church is going to stay there. Because they're losing this property, though, it's going to need to go before the Board of Adjustments, the Zoning Board of Adjustments, because they're going to not meet the requirement of the permeable surface. So then the road's going to continue along here, go up. It's going to just nick the corner of that playground, which they're going to have to move the fence back, and then continue on up the hill and off to the left.
That's where the road is planned to go?
That's where the road is planning on going.
How many
now
houses?
At the top, I'm sorry?
How many houses?
Okay, at the top of the hill along the wood line of Mary Kay McMillan School, they're going to put 2 houses up there on the top side of the road. And then there's going to be 1 house behind this property we're on right now. So 3 houses there. And then this house over here you see is a house that's always belonged to the church. The caretakers used to live there, and they're going to have to tear that down because it belongs to the raccoon family now.
So Jerry, that house is empty?
That house is empty, it's deserted, and a mess.
So yeah. Kristen, why did you guys put the signs out there? I know you're trying to get more signs too, but they're expensive.
Sure,
so why did you put the signs out?
We put the signs out to raise awareness. You know, this is something that went before the planning board back in 2016, and it's something that we've been trying to educate the town on since 2016 and share our really valid concerns about this potential subdivision going in. You know, aside from the safety issue of putting in a new road which would intersect right by Mountain and Plainfield Avenue, which everyone knows is a speedway coming down that double pitch, they're proposing taking down over 200 trees. This is currently 5.69 acres that's owned by Westminster Church. The proposed subdevelopment after the property is sold would remain about 3 acres, I believe, or 2 acres. And it's a lot of houses that are going to be squeezed onto a really small property. You know, I'm a resident who's lived here for 10 years. My property is adjacent to the Westminster Church property, and we've had significant water issues, just like most of the residents within Berkeley Heights experience. I have friends that live in town who have completely flat lots, and they also experience drainage issues, so everyone kind of feels our pain. But with the removal of so many trees, over 200, and the potential to only put back about 40 trees or so, just is a grave concern to us. In addition to that, in order to mitigate some of the water drainage concerns, they're proposing large bioretention basins, which would be along the entire length of this property here, which would, you know, take away the neighbors' privacy. It's a very unsightly thing. And then furthermore, behind my property, there would be a bioretention basin right to the back of my property, which brings a lot of concerns from us. There's a lot of variances that are being asked for, which are above and beyond anything that I'm aware of that's been approved by the zoning board in the past. And we just want to bring awareness that hopefully we can have some other concerned neighbors come out and support us in our concerns on March 23rd at 7:30. It's Zoom, so if you're on vacation or you're not able to attend in Berkeley Heights, you know, there's a link that you can click on. It's very easy, and you're free to speak up or just listen to all the other concerns of the neighbors so that you can share in the support.
And just want to add, we think it goes beyond just our initial houses that will be impacted by this. With taking down the woods on the elevated area behind us that you can see, the drainage issues that are going to be impacted can have spread well beyond just our few houses that are right here. So really everybody in this area should be concerned about what the impact can be, because there's no way to predict. Especially as we all know, there's been more and more larger and larger storms every year. So who knows what's going to happen? They're telling us it's whatever, 50, 100-year basins. We've had how many 100-year storms in the 10, 15 years we've lived here? It's going to keep getting worse, and taking this down is only going to aggravate the entire situation.
So we have an environmental commission. Did they propose, or do they have any mitigation strategies for leaving trees or protecting what they can, or do we know how many trees they're getting rid of, and what are they going to do about it to offset them? What do you guys know? Can you shed any light on that?
So I do believe back in 2016 a letter was submitted by the Berkeley Heights Environmental Commission, basically saying that they are not in support of this, this development based on the drainage issues, the concerns. There's a 25% pitch in one of the areas which is not meant to be built on, and so they did not recommend building this. As far as anyone's response on how many trees should be put back in, I'm not aware of any formal statement that's come forth.
It should be ordinance based. I believe the way the tree ordinance works is that if they can't replace all the trees, they have to pay into a tree trust, in which we put the trees somewhere else. I believe that's how it works.
We'd rather have the trees behind us.
Yes, of course, because you have a great view of a healthy forest right behind your property.
Right. There's beautiful old mature trees back here that cannot be replaced by a 3 to 5 year old sapling that would go in somewhere else.
20 to 40 years to get back that effort of lifting water out of the ground. And I believe we're also working on a new tree ordinance too to address some of these issues. So that's actually still in limbo, isn't it?
Right. And then I think lastly, one of the other concerns is that in order to create a safe line of sight for the proposed new road that would go out onto Plainfield Avenue, because of the turn from folks going south to north on Plainfield as you cross over Mountain, they would need to potentially take down the trees in front of this house here, as well as my house. And I have really old, beautiful, mature Canadian hemlocks in front of the house.
These?
Yes.
Yep.
And those trees are marked for removal as well?
Yes.
And was that the result of a traffic study? Is that or something else?
No, there's a line of sight.
There's a
Line of sight that's drawn on the
Not a traffic study,
and
okay.
the trees are within that sign.
And,
So
We like the trees because it keeps the noise from the road down.
Absolutely.
Yep.
To our houses.
the noise
And those are mature trees as well.
Those are very mature trees. So obviously you can see it's not just the privacy that is impacted by us. It would be, putting in all these street lights. This house would then become a corner lot, which decreases the value. We have concerns over the flooding impact, which would not only affect us, it's going to affect folks all the way down to Hamilton. We're aware of folks that on Arden Court didn't, as far as I am aware of, they didn't have drainage issues or flooding issues until King's Court was put in. And the distance between that, it's very far, but just that little court had a huge impact downstream through the town.
Okay. And you guys are attending the meeting on the 23rd, I presume?
We are,
Yes,
and we hope that others will join in hearing our concerns and voicing their own concerns.
It'd be good for people to tune in to see at least how these things pan out and what the process is. It's important. Is there anything else?
No, the only other thing is they're going for the variance. One of the variances they're going for is the permeable area. Is the parking lot's up there. You can't quite see it from here, but there's like a shed sitting up there.
That's the Westminster parking lot, right?
That's the Westminster parking lot. And that's over a 25% grade. And then that comes down here. Now they're going to put a road in there. And they say don't worry because there'll be a barrier put up to catch all that water that comes down from that parking lot and put it into the city storm sewer. It's not your problem.
Okay. So variances,
well, that might become our problem.
Variances, right, are not uncommon, but usually for an application, maybe you get one variance. And for Berkeley Heights, you have a house that takes up so much percentage of the lot. The variance common in Berkeley Heights is that it's a total coverage variance, I think it is.
25%.
Right, so even my house, I put a second story on, I had to get a variance. I didn't increase my footprint at all. So so variances are common, but this one has 2 or 3, it sounds like.
Exactly.
And it's a standard that they set. And this one has a variance for the slope there. What was the other one? Total lot coverage, is that?
Total lot
Yeah,
coverage.
where 10% is permissible, they're asking for about, I think it's 33.9%, so 200%
Okay, so
over
it's a big
what's
variance.
permissible.
Okay. You guys did your research.
We did.
All right.
We've been to a lot of
Yeah.
these meetings and had a lot
Yeah,
of
you
plans.
guys are really educated. All right, this is good. This might be the best one we've done on Berkeley Heights Community Watch. All right. I think that'll be good. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate you guys. Thanks.
Hope to see everyone on the 23rd. 7:30 on Zoom.
Right. And you can find it on the Berkeley Heights website as well.
Yes.
Thanks.